For rent by owners are very interesting because most of the time they're already done or they're not done. But there's no specific script that I've ever used for rent by owner until I got into REDX. So I started looking at their script, and I have it pulled up here. One thing that I've got into to know, I always like to put myself in their shoes. So we think about it. A lot of people have become landlords just because they bought a good time in the market, but they're honestly they have no idea what it is. So I just start talking to them. I say, so how long has the property been vacant? Is this a second property, third property? What are you looking for on your next tenant? And then I ask them, being in the market that we is that's so hot, and of having a shortage of inventory but a surplus of buyers, have you considered selling the property versus getting it rented? And then I just go off of, depending what their answer is, then I continue questioning that motivation.
Yeah, a lot of for rent by owners don't want to be property managers, and they thought they did. Now they're into it and they've got it for rent again. I think it's a great hot lead, and one that is underserved. I don't think a lot of people work it.
No. And then sometimes they'll tell me like, oh, vacancies, and I don't like to have it vacant. So for me, it automatically tells me, I'm like, wait a minute. So you've had it vacant for 3 months. I'm just curious, are you paying this out of your pocket? And I'd be like, yes. So that's money being taken away from you now instead of putting back into your property, right? They're like, yes. Well, being that you've had it for quite some time, today's value is, what if you can net an extra couple $100,000? What do you do then? So then I do possibility thinking. What can happen next?
I love that. So let's take the client now. You've made the call on a for rent by owner. Go back to the contact record if you don't mind. You've made the call, and they've told you that, I've just got it leased, but maybe in a year when the lease is up, go ahead and follow up with me. What's your follow-up process so that you're not just turning and burning?
Very good question. I have a CRM. I use Salesforce. So when I'm on my Salesforce CRM, I actually just move them from different leads. But for example, let's say here, within the Vortex. So now Tom's telling me, okay, you know what? It sounds good. Let me give it another week. Call me back in a week, and we'll go from there if it doesn't get rented. If I can't push for an appointment and I can get in, I try to close about 3 to 6 times in a conversation, sometimes 7 if I have to, but it usually goes down to about 3 to 5. So I'll go ahead and add them here. I'll go to folder. Once I go to folder, I'll add them into my follow-up folder. And then I go, okay. But before I put in my follow-up folder, there's a tab here called notes. And I'll just start typing away. Spoke to Tom. He's good. He's been owning for X amount of time. He's looking to sell in a week. If it doesn't sell, and then I'll keep on making continuous notes. Now, if I feel that Tom is really distressed and he's just telling me at that time that he wants to wait, I just tell him, like, Tom, honestly, are you telling me a week just to blow me off, or you really want to wait a week? How far is it? So one of my biggest things that I've learned in coaching is confrontation. Some of us prospects don't like to confront the seller because we don't want to be rude or buzz. Honestly, if we don't ask those questions, how are we ever supposed to know?
So what you're saying is confrontation is good.
Yes, it's all how you approach it, but yes.
I think a lot of what you're saying, Edward, isn't about the words are actually not confrontational, and the tone that you use makes me feel comfortable answering the questions. I think a lot of it is your voice fluctuation and your tone and your matter of factness about finding out what their pain is and then providing a solution to them. And so I want to compliment you for your style, and I think your style is a lot of what's helping you be successful.